Guess what time it is? It's story time. So before I get into the actual story, I just need to tell you, if you're real sensitive, maybe just keep scrolling. We'll leave it at that. So this story takes place when I was in the 7th grade. And for whatever reason, for this one class, they mixed the 7th graders with the 8th graders. There was this one 8th grader in particular who was kind of a fuckboy. Like, he was known for fucking with a bunch of girls. And something I should mention is that he had a mild case of Tourette's. So one of his tics was that he would always be blinking a lot all the time. So he was in my class and I saw him and I asked the girl who was sitting next to me, I'm like, hey, is that so-and-so? This girl, y'all. She said, yeah, he always be winking at me.
Here's the story time on what happened to my eye. So I'm sorry for just now posting this, but I started college, so I've just been extremely busy. But anyway, that happened at the end of 11th grade, so for me that was a year and a half ago. And my high school was really big. We went outside to change classes and stuff. So basically one day I'm about to go to my last class and I was going through a door and something hits me in the face and I had no idea what it was, didn't know what happened. I just it hurt really bad. So I put my hand up over my eye and I looked down and there's just blood everywhere. So I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go to a nurse. I didn't even care what had happened at this point. I just wanted to go to the nurse. So the nurse was across campus. So I start walking there and this police officer comes up to me and he grabs me and I'm like, what the heck is going on? What's happening? I was just clueless. So for part 2.
Story time. So when I was 6 or 7, I went to Walmart with my dad. This Walmart was 30 minutes away from my hometown. I live in upstate New York, by the way. But in this Walmart, they used to have, I don't know if they still have them. I'm 18 now, so it's been a while. I never noticed them anymore, but they used to have the posters of the kids that have been kidnapped in that Walmart. That used to freak me out so much because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get stolen. But anyways, my dad's in the hardware section. I'm standing with him, but I really have to go to the bathroom. And it's 2 seconds away, so he's like, you can just go. And so I go to the bathroom, I come back, and my dad's no longer in the aisle that he was in before. But then I remember, okay, well, he had to buy towels too, so I'm going to go over to the towel section, which is so far away from the hardware section. My 7-year-old ass is just walking around Walmart, lost as hell. And so I start screaming dad, and bloody murder screaming dad in the middle of Walmart. This dude that looked like he was in his 20s was like, hey, do you want me to help you find your dad? And I was like, yeah, of course. For
Story time. So me and Kaylee went to the store with my grandma and my mom. There were these 2 cute boys and we noticed that they went to a school near us because of the shirts they were wearing. We kept seeing them around the store. We may or may not have followed them, just a little bit. And when we went to check out, they were standing right beside us. They were both over 6 foot and had curly hair, and they definitely looked like they could be famous on TikTok. Anywho, they were leaving and we were kind of sad because we were never going to see them again. And then, instead of leaving, they actually went into the hair cutting place that's inside of Meijer. My grandma had this great idea to give him my number. So as we were walking out, she wrote my number on a piece of paper and gave it to him. Mind you, he was with his friends. He actually texted me later and for a part 2.
Story time. Okay, so before I start, I just want to say I graduated high school 6 months ago, and this happened my summer going into freshman year, so a while ago. But at the same time, not that long ago. So there was this boy that I was really, really into. I thought we would be husband and wife one day. That's how much I liked this boy. We had a couple of classes together the previous year, but we didn't really talk in those classes, and he didn't really know who I was, so... I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm getting secondhand embarrassment from this. But for whatever reason, I had his number, probably from a group chat or a group project that we had at some point during the year. And being the little flirty pants that I am and wanting him to like me so bad, I would constantly text him. I was I know I was so annoying, literally so annoying. But I didn't care because I wanted him to like me. I didn't even care if he didn't answer. I would double text him, quadruple text him all the time. For part 2.
You could be losing all hope for humanity as you know it until you realize that Fortnite is dying and Minecraft is having a rebirth. I'm pretty sure I have to thank PewDiePie for that, but you know what? That's okay. take us back to the glorious days of 2012 when we all thought we were dying but didn't care because we had sheep to feed?
Story time. So, today I was walking through the woods and a whole pack of zombies came at me and I got attacked by the zombie apocalypse. Here's proof.
We learned about the parts of a girl and a boy, and the teacher was like, this is a girl's vagina. Everybody say vagina. And I was the loudest person. I was like, vagina!
Story time. One time I was on a bridge with train tracks on it with my dog Jake. He's a Weimaraner. And under the bridge, there was a river about 50 feet below us. And there are these gaps in the train tracks where you can fall through and go into the river. At one point, my dog turned sideways, and his back legs fell through the gap, and he caught himself with his 2 front paws. There are rocks down below, so if my dog falls through, he's dead. There was nothing his back legs could touch, so he was holding on to dear life. And I turn around, I look at my dog, and my dog was already looking at me. I don't understand doggy language at all, but when I looked into his eyes, he was like, help me, bitch.
Here's a story time. How you thought. Anyway, so I have a job, right? And there was this one particular morning where I decided to call out. And so, I wasn't feeling good, but, I called out because I just was like, I'm not really feeling work today. So, little old me, she goes out with her friend and her family, and they go out to dinner. And so we're sitting in this restaurant, and I'm like, and we were about an hour late before we got seated, which is a whole other ordeal. But, I wasn't fazed. And it turns out as we're walking to our table, you'll never guess who I see sitting at the bar. My dear old boss. And at this point, I'm like, ooh, yikes. But, casual me, I waved, I said hi. And the next morning, at work, he tells me, if you really like that restaurant, you should try the Thai place down the street.
Story time. One time I was on this road trip out of town and everything. Earlier that same road trip, I had Taco Bell. You probably already know what I'm going to say next, and yes, I had to poop. So I pull over into this plaza and everything, and it had this nice building, so I was like, hey, maybe they got a nice toilet that I could use. So I go inside, do my business, come back out. Here's where we encounter our first problem. I locked my damn keys in the car. I was like, damn it. Roadside assistant's probably going to take 20 minutes to get here. So I decided to go back inside. I walked back up to the lady at the front desk, and she was in scrubs, so I thought, hey, maybe she's smart, she could help me. I said, hey, ma'am, I locked my keys in the car. Do you have any clothes hangers or anything I could use? She looked up at me in disgust. The room went dead silent. I looked around and I saw about 12 people looking visibly upset. Grown men looking like they wanted to hurt me. I'm horrible in awkward situations, so I was like, you know what? It's fine. I got it taken care of. And I walked back out. Roadside assistants finally got there and I told him the story and he busted out laughing. I was confused, but then it became clear to me that I walked into an abortion clinic and asked if they had a coat hanger. I hate my damn self. I'm sorry.
We're out here fishing on the deep blue, and this is what we just caught. Look at this thing. Some weird looking deep sea creature. I have no idea what it is.
So I'm at the beach right now, right? And I decided to go on the beach, run through the sand. And it's a beautiful day, so I'm feeling myself. I'm over here flipping my hair like I'm Justin Bieber. And this little black girl who was making a sandcastle looked up. She said, boy, you not white. What is you doing? So I'm like, look, big head little girl, mind your business, all right? She said, look, you must not have known, but I'm 100% that bitch. So I don't know who you talking to. And you ugly. And she really just messed up my whole vibe. So I was really finna back up, get a running start, and just John Cena, you can't see me, RKO chokeslam her. But while this was going on in my mind, she was like, hello, you just gonna stand in my way or you gonna say something? You know what I'm saying? So I just walked away. Then I sprinted back over there, kicked over her sandcastle, and hit her in the head with a bucket.
First, I'm gonna hit third base with a girl. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Maybe don't. So I was 17, me and this girl were dating for probably like 5 months. And we're chilling at her house, and her parents were home. So I was like, oh, doodles, we have to go to my house. Now, I know you guys expect me to make a corny joke, but say oh, we ran the 3 bases at a baseball field, and that's how I hit third base. Like, no, this is me actually hitting the third base. Why do I keep zooming in? I'm annoying. So we're driving to my house. We're really excited, obviously. It's our, so excited that I was not paying attention to the road. And there was a huge guitar in, like, the middle of the road, like, weird. I swerved, and then I hit into the guitar. Literally the third guitar I've seen in the road that I've hit. And that's when I hit the third base. I hate myself. Okay, bye. Like, bass guitar, you get, I've hit it low. I really have.
When I was 11, I walked in on something I should not have walked in on. Awkward story time. So me and my little brother was just chilling downstairs when we started to overhear noises coming from upstairs. Oh, it sounded something like this. That was my older brother. Oh, ooh, ow, ooh, that hurt. That was my older brother's girlfriend. Because I was a curious little asshole, I ran to the stairs and I was like, there the noises got weirder. Oi, 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 oi. Again, that was my older brother. And that was his girlfriend. I was confused because the only TV we had was downstairs, so I'm like, they're definitely not watching anime. That's when I thought it couldn't get weirder, the noises intensified. Older brother once again. And that was his girlfriend. At this point, I had to know what was happening, so I started to go up the stairs a little bit. Is this some weird type of video game? When I got to the top of the stairs, I said, what's going on in here? And all I heard was, it was not a video game, and that noise came out of my brother.
So there I was at the movies, and I got my corn and my slushie, and I sat down. Movie was going so great, and all of a sudden, I heard this noise right next to me in my ear. It's this lady, and she's like, are you flipping kidding me? Then, her hand is in my popcorn, so I take it out of my popcorn, and she wakes up and goes, why are you holding my hand? I'm not holding your hand! I'm trying to get your hand out of my popcorn! So how about you quit snoring and being rude? Then I looked over and I saw she had some milk duds, and I was like, can I have some?
When I was like 6, my mom stabbed a dude. Story time. My mama had some shady friends, right? Anyway, this one dude came over the house, and I don't know what they were talking about. It was probably like taxes or something, like adult stuff. But I noticed that he pushed her, and my mom was like, oh, no. Hey, go get my knife. Go get my knife right now, baby. Yeah, the big one, not the butter knife, the big one. I did what my mom said. I couldn't find a big knife, so I got the butter knife. This is a butter knife. The encounter after that was real weird. Dude was like, you ain't gonna do shit, Mary, with that little bitch ass knife. Go ahead, do something. Bust a move. My mama's real petty, so she was like, all right, go ahead, cross that line right there. You know, right, cross that line. I dare you, nigga. Against better judgment, he was like, I was in the corner, and I was like, no, you shouldn't have did that. No. So my mama looked at him, and she said, stab. He said, why'd you stab me, bitch? Shouldn't have crossed the line, motherfucker.
The second my dad pulls up, he straightens up real fucking quick. My dad looked at him and said, do we have a fucking problem? He said, no, sir. My dad's like, oh, that's funny because I can hear you down the block talking mad shit to my niece and nephew and my daughter. So let me ask you again, do we have a fucking problem? Homie switches it up. It was just like, you know what, sir? I don't mean to be disrespectful, but your niece. He's like, what the fuck about my niece, bitch? He's like, I can hear you down the block talking shit to my nephew saying that you want him to fight you. Bitch, you want to throw hands? We can throw fucking hands and I can pistol whip your white ass. He was white, by the way, but we're just not going to get into it. He's like, is that what you want? I don't give a fuck if you're 15 years old. You want to be a hood? The hood don't give a fuck about your age. Anyways, so he decides to apologize to all of us, and then my dad offers to drive him home, and then we never fucking saw him again.
That's me, the dumbass bitch. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, it all started in the summer of 2019.
Dude, come on.
It's story time and I'm pissed off. Last night I stayed up trying to do a presentation. It didn't take me that long. I finished it in about 20 minutes. I set 3 alarms to make sure that I got up for class today on time. Class starts at 10 o'clock. I got up from my alarms. I hit snooze on all of them, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get out of the bed. And right before I got out of the bed, I said, let me just get on my phone for a second. And then my roommate came in the room, and he woke me up, and he said, hey, don't you have class? And I said, what time is it? And he said, 9:56. Now, what pisses me off is, one, I don't even remember falling asleep. And two, my eyes were closed for 3 seconds. So how did 45 minutes pass? And what makes it worse is it's like I was in shock, because it was like, how is it 9:56? I know I need to be moving, but I just need to take 10 seconds to realize that it's actually 9:56. And I live in a dorm, so my bed is up to Mars. I have to jump down to Earth to even get on the floor. I can't find clothes, my breath stinks, my face is pale. I just need to wash my face, and I didn't deserve to wake up like this. Moral of the story is I was in class pissed off at 10:03. Thank you for your time.
Y'all ever had that teacher that is so strict and always giving you a hard time? Well, I'm an athlete, and we're supposed to drink at least 1 gallon of water every single day. Now, that is a lot of water. So fast forward to my 3rd hour, and I have to pee really bad. I asked the teacher if I use the restroom, and she's like, yeah, sure, just show me your bathroom pass. I look into my bag, and for some reason, it's not there. So I'm thinking I'll just tell her that I left it at home, because there's no way she's gonna actually say no. I go up to her, and I'm like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? She turns to me, and she says no. I was like, what? She was like, Dante, you know the rule. You can't leave without a pass. Don't worry. It's 5 to 1, so you can go then. I was like, is this math? I was like, last time I remember, this was science, and I don't think Bill Nye would like this shit. She was like, Dante, you can go right now, but if you do, you will receive a detention. And I was like, and if I stay, you will receive a janitor because I will flood this place. She starts to get irritated with me. She's like, Dante, just take the detention and go to the bathroom. I was like, just get the mop ready.
They said story time. Let me find the lighting. First of all, the only story I'm gonna tell is a story about how you should never get in a relationship because dating in 2019 is a joke. People will literally stalk you on Instagram but not text you back. How does
We all have that one secret hideout that nobody else knows about except you and your friends. Well, one summer, me and my friend decided to work on a secret base in the woods, and then we did it the next summer. And then the third one, we sadly did not finish it, so it was just chilling there. Well, a year goes by, and I'm chilling with my friends. It's his birthday party, and so there's 5 other guys there, and they wanted to go see it. And I told them, I was like, this isn't in, like, down the street. This is in the woods. They were like, Dante, there's 5 of us. What's the worst thing that could happen? And I'm the only black person there, so if I die first, that's fucked up. And so we get there, right? And to get into the woods, there's a man-made hole that we made. And so we had the skinniest guy go first, and then we have a really big chubby guy at the end. And so he gets there, right? And 5 minutes of walking, my friend in the front starts booking it back. And then we turn back and we see that an animal was like chasing us. And so we start running, and I'm the athlete, so I outrun these niggas easily. But my friend that's fat is in the back. And I'm like, damn, that must suck to suck. And I'm not gonna say his name because Mason doesn't like to be called fat, so I'm gonna call him Jigglypuff. So I'm there first, right?
Today is my first day back after having 3 days off. Right away, my manager warned me about the guy in the fitting room. As I was back there, I went ahead and let another lady in the fitting room. She kind of had a lot, so I had to separate her items. While I was checking out the guy, the girl that was in the fitting room left. She didn't buy anything. After a few moments, he didn't buy anything either. So when my manager went back to look through her stuff, she found all of these. She also destroyed the shirt. But wait, there's more. A group of 4 came in. They kind of looked around a little bit, and then they started heading toward the door. The alarm went off. My manager asked each one of them to walk by the door. It was one of the girls' bag. She asked her to open it, and the lady was like, it's just my socks. Nothing suspicious, right? Except they're ours.
When I went to find my kiwi, I looked inside the pantry. When the pantry no have kiwi, I looked at my roommate. My roommate ate my kiwi, and so I ate my roomie.
I have a TikTok addiction and it's cringe! I was chilling in class and the teacher was handing out tests. It's one of those teachers that makes you come up and get your tests after they call your name. So I was chilling in class and she said, Danny. And with no hesitation, I said out loud, how you feel? And I kid you not, the kid named Danny said, I feel great. And the kid behind me goes, yes, sir. The look the teacher gave us was like, she had no idea what was going on, neither did the rest of the class. We were the only 3 in the class that understood what was going on. I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one that's addicted.
All right, babe. It's story time.
Hit me.
All right.
So, little Mary Margaret, who goes to a Catholic school, usually slept through class. So one day her teacher, who's a nun, called on her. Mary Margaret, who created the universe? She didn't stir, so her friend little Johnny jabbed her in the ass with his pencil. God almighty, she shouted. The nun said, very good, and kept teaching. Later, the nun asked little Mary, who is our Lord and Savior? Again, she didn't stir, so Johnny jabbed her in the ass again. Jesus Christ, shouted Mary. The nun said, very good. So the nun asked her a third question. What did Eve say to Adam after she had her 23rd kid? Again came Johnny. This time Mary jumps up and shouts, if you stick that damn thing in me one more time, I'll break it in half. And the nun fainted. End story.
Let me tell you something. Listen. Don't anybody tell you that your dreams aren't real. You see, only 6 months ago today, I was broke. I actually had to break up with my boyfriend because he thought I was crazy and move back into my parents' house because I had a dream. And I wasn't going to let nobody tell me that I couldn't make it. You see, this world is based on essential facts. And if you learn how to use your mind to make money, you can make tons of money easily and effortlessly. And right now, I am free to live life on my own terms, and I want to show you exactly how you can do it. Now, right now, I'm in my car. I have about $15,000 in cash and a whole lot of money in that Louis Vuitton duffel bag. I want to show you guys how you could do this too. All you have to do is to get started right now. Click learn more below and get these mind hacks so I can show you how to reprogram your mind to make this money monthly. And it is not hard. Let's go get started.